This video will be about explaining the Transfem Jax theory, the evidence behind it, and the general reason why I and many others believe that Jax will be confirmed as trans in the final episode of The Amazing Digital Circus. This video will be split up into 3 parts. In-show evidence, which includes like symbolic stuff, moments from the show, little details, clues, as well as just overall themes and stuff from the show that I feel like tie in, right? Out of show evidence, which is Gooseworks tweets, asks, she's answered, as well as like, a couple other things that just all seem to tie into the theory and make it seem a little bit more firm. And then the final part will just be combating counter-arguments I've heard, because I feel like most of the counter-arguments made against the Transfem Jax theory don't really hold much weight once you examine them with any kind of real... Once you counteract them, they don't really hold up. Okay, let's start with Jax's character design, just to begin with. For one, he's purple, right? Which is a feminine color. Which, again, the early evidence, like the first little bits of it, is not going to be, like... As we get in, the evidence gets more intense. But just to start off with, purple is a feminine color, and it's, like, associated with femininity, right? And then he's also a rabbit. Rabbits are associated with fertility, but also with a sort of prey thing. Like predator-prey thing. Where it's like, they're skittish and they're prey animals, right? And so it's like him being a purple rabbit, so something that's associated with femininity and fertility, and also like, and it says that hints at like the feminine aspects, but there's also the skittishness, where it's like Jax is afraid of something. He's the prey. He feels preyed upon, like scared, right? And then there's also the fact that he's a play on Bugs Bunny, very obviously, right? He's like the cartoon trickster, like, hey, I don't care about any of this, blah, 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 right? And Bugs Bunny is notoriously cross-dresser, right? But the thing that's interesting is that despite playing into the Bugs Bunny thing, Bugs Bunny, like, was always the one making the joke, but was never the butt of the joke. And it's just like, it's very interesting how, like, Bugs Bunny was confident, and Jax pretends to be confident, right? And it's his whole arc, and his whole thing ties into that, right? Like this pretending, this pretense, this, right? So it's like Bugs Bunny cross-dresses all the time, and then you shove Jax in the maid outfit, and then it's like he suddenly loses that Bugs Bunny-ness about him. Right, and of course people are always, and this is something that always annoys me, people are like, you're looking too deep into the things. It's like, no, each of the characters represent things very obviously, right? Like Zubul has like removable body parts, and they have body dysmorphia, right? As confirmed in episode 8.
That creates a body perfectly encapsulating their mind files, and they hate those too.
Like their bodies perfectly encapsulate their mind files. But what does that mean? That perfectly by what definition? It perfectly represents them, but I'd argue that just because you're perfectly represented by your body doesn't mean that that you feel perfectly comfortable within it, right? So by giving like Zubul this body that like is a physical representation of their internal world and like how they hate their body and want to change constantly, I'd argue that, yeah, perfectly representative, still hellish to experience, right? Then we have Pomni. Now, Pomni's form is a jester, and like it encapsulates mind files, right? So Pomni wanted to, as proven in episode 5, as like explicitly stated by her, she wanted a little more excitement in her life, hence why she was doing the Urbex thing.
Sometimes got bored of things, and I would seek out mild thrills, like exploring abandoned buildings, and posting videos of it online.
Right? So she wanted more excitement in her life, but also she doesn't like to be talked down to or treated like a child.
So, Pomni, you ever have any jobs? Or are you too young for that?
I'm 25 years old.
Me? We're already friends with the princess.
I'm not a child. You don't have to hype me up.
Which, if she was an accountant for a supermarket chain, I could imagine that, being a woman in any job ever, you get talked down to a lot, right? So it's like, and so Cain gave her, her body is a jester. So this encapsulates both her greatest insecurities and her, desire for more joy and playfulness in life, right? That's my take. That's my reading on it, right? Because perfectly encapsulates is such a precisely vague statement, where it encapsulates, but the encapsulates means the whole of something, right? The good and the bad. So their bodies represented both the good and the bad aspects of their own minds, right? So the good and the insecurities and the desires. So you want to be more fun? Well, you're a fun little jester. It's like, oh, you want to be, you have an insecurity about not being taken seriously? Oh, well, you're a jester and no one takes you seriously, right? So there's an insecurity around that, right? And then you take Gangle. Gangle is fragile, has a fragile mask of happiness that breaks easily, and she has literally no backbone, right? She's like this ribbon that has no weight or substance to it, and so it's a fragile mask a fragile mask supported by something with no weight or substance. It's like representative. And then you go to Ragatha, and Ragatha is a rag doll, something to be tossed around and thrown about, right? Something that is meant to bring joy to others at the cost of its own well-being, right? That is the nature of a rag doll, right? And so it's like all these things. And then you get to Kinger. Kinger's a chess piece king. The nature of chess is complicated, but chess piece is the king and the queen. But the thing is, Queenie was the black queen and he was the white king, right? Meaning that as she grew, I have some theories as to what this might mean for their relationship. I think that and especially from Kinger's statement.
In this world, the worst thing you can do is make someone think they're not wanted or loved.
That he was that the worst thing you can do is make someone feel like they're not wanted or loved. I feel as though Kinger might have gotten anxious or lashed out after being trapped in the circus for so long, and something might have happened to Queenie. Might have said something to Queenie in a moment of anger that he did not mean. And in that moment, Queenie abstracted, and that's why Kinger is that's dual feelings of responsibility. Because on one hand, he would also have the having created the circus thing. Well, not the circus, but you get it, right? And then there's also the thing where it's he was for what I was responsible for, I feel so guilty.
I hated myself. I couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for.
So you tie that into it. So it's the idea that he's a chess piece who won, right? That's my take on it, right? Kinger is the representation of after the game is over and the chess piece has won, what is there to be done, right? Right, the Kinger all by himself, no pawns, no rooks, no knights, just the king stands alone on an empty battlefield, right? He won. I don't know. I feel like I might be missing something. There might be something more with Kinger's avatar that I'm not quite grasping at this moment. But also the dynamic of a king can only move in one space, but it can move in any direction, which is think outside the box, and kings can only move in a box formation.
It wasn't quite on Scratch's level of thinking outside the box.
And it's kings are very weak by themselves, but when supported by others, like the queens, they become more capable, right? There's a whole lot of symbolism involving the avatars, right? Again, this is the curtains are not just blue. For anyone who doesn't get that reference, you just Google the curtains are blue, and you'll get it. You'll get the thing. Sometimes the curtains are not just blue. Most of the time, the curtains are not just blue. There's a reason why the curtains are that color, right? There's a reason why Gooseworks gave all these people these kind of avatars, right? There's a motive behind it. And once we interrogate that motive, we can figure out what this is supposed to represent about the characters, right? And I feel like that was basically explicitly revealed with the encapsulation of the mind files thing, right? So that's my first point, is Jax's avatar is a bunny. It's like a bright purple bunny, feminine colors, a thing that is not representative of, like not representative of strength or like power or dominance, but rather something of skittishness and fertility, and also just like fear, right? So it's like, and also bunnies have notoriously weak hearts. Like that's why you can give them a heart attack if you surprise them, right? So it's like a bunny is weak-hearted, and also there's the slapstick stuff that's a tie-in with Bugs Bunny, notorious crossdresser, right? So that's the part where that's just the avatars. Now that we've gone over the base character design, I think it's good that I think what's next is to go over the episode by episode. Okay, so in episode 1, the evidence is mostly in just how Jax is animated, right? There's also the breaking the fourth wall, but that I'll get to in a second. The how Jax is animated is very effeminate, which whenever I bring that up, people are like, "Oh, aren't you stereotyping? Aren't you doing this and that?" It's like, okay, it's not stereotyping to point out a stereotype exists, right? Like, if you see someone and they're doing a stereotypical action in a show, that's for a reason, right? Especially in an animated show where every single movement a character makes takes hours upon hours of effort, and it has to be directed explicitly. Like 3D animation, this isn't like a live action show where you could just be like, oh, maybe the actor just did that. This isn't mocapped. Every single movement that Jax makes is very explicitly like a decision, you know? It's like every single frame is like a painting. A picture is 1,000 words. It's like every single frame of animation is 1,000 words, and there are a billion frames of animation in a whole episode, right? So it's like you have to like go over, why is he moving in a certain way? Like why? Like what is the reason for that, right? And so my reason for them being feminine is my evidence for the feminine movements are. One, when he's walking with Ragatha and Pomni to like show Pomni to her room, he's strutting, he's got his hand on his hip, he's swaying slightly. It feels like somebody walking down a catwalk more than somebody like just casually walking, which also goes to show like a performance, right? His whole thing is he's putting on a performance, like he's putting on this mask to show. Well, like like a show of who, like that, to disguise who he actually is, and so it's like walking like he's like on a catwalk. That intertwined with the Transfem theory, it's like this is both to mask his true self, and also like it's both the mask reaffirming itself and the mask slipping in a way, right? Where it's like, oh, showing off some of his true inner femininity, but even when he's showing that off, it's still he's still performing in a way, right? It's like a catwalk, right? And then we get to the part with the Gloinks where he checks his nails. It's like he's having a conversation with the Gloinks, and he's like just looking at his nails, and it's a small little motion, but it's like still a very feminine like thing. Like he doesn't even have nails, and yet he's checking his nails. That there's a reason behind that. Like it's a motion, right? It's like it's an ingrained reflex in him for some reason, right? Like, and then there's the ladies first comment when like there's the escalator, and he's like goes to Gangle, and he says ladies first, and he's like actually, and then he just like pushes her aside, right? Now that seems very fascinating to me, right? Like obviously it could just be a one-off joke. All of these things, every individual piece of evidence isn't meant to build the entire case. We're building a castle here. Every single piece of evidence is a brick, right? But like if Transfem Jax was real, this would be godlike foreshadowing on Gooseworks' part. Like, can you imagine like people going back and rewatching the show and being like, how did I miss this? Right? Like such a tiny little detail, it's that tiny little nothing detail, but it's like ladies first, and then he's the first one onto the escalator. It feels very symbolic. The next two episodes, Jax isn't in very much, but the few moments he is in, he's doing his typical, like, feminine mannerisms thing, right? Episode 4 is where things really start getting interesting, right? Episode 4, there is one thing in episode 3 that now that I remember, there's in episode 3, he's walking with Gangle, and Gangle says, Ragatha says, like, hey, go easy on her. Go easy on Pomni, yeah. She's had a rough couple of days. And Jax goes like, oh, her and everybody else. And it's like...
Nice to her. She's had a rough couple of days.
Her and everyone else.
Huh. That could be tying into the fact that, like, Cosmo passed. But it's like, I don't know if that ties into Transfem Jax specifically, but it ties into something, right? But anyway, episode 4 with the name tag, and it's like... It's Jax does not like to be reminded of reality, because this is the first time we really see his mask fully slip. Some people argue that it's episode 6, but it's like, no, there were times before where his mask slipped. I think, like, even in episode 1, I think, yeah, and even in episode 2, when he comes back from the adventure, and they're talking about Cosmo's funeral, you can see it for just a frame. I'll put it up on here. You can see his mask slip for just a little bit, as you see, like, genuine emotion on his face. Right, but in episode 4 is when we see it, like, slip for, like, a prolonged period of time, right? We see him, like, exhausted as he moves around, and it's like, it gives off the vibe of somebody who is, like, not okay with reality, like, who does not like operating in reality, right? Like, I've worked fast food. Shit sucks, my man, right? Like this vibe of, like, oh, I have to, it's like, it's even more exhausting than the normal performance for Jax. Like, the normal performance, at least he doesn't have to do anything besides do the performance, right? And this is like this job where he has to work, and it's like, I feel like this, like, I don't know if, maybe this is just a me experience, but with some of the other transfems I've talked to, it's a very common experience to, like when you're dysphoric, or when you are, like, closeted or repressing or whatever, having to go out and, like, just performing your gender is a full-time job in and of itself, and actually working another job on top of it is, like, it's an incomprehensible Herculean lift, right? It's just, like, that's true for me, and that's been true for some of the other people I've talked to. Other trans femmes, I would love to know your opinions. Leave them in the comments. Like, does, like, dysphoria by itself, like, is barely, like, you can barely manage it. But if you have to add a job in on top of that, that's when it becomes really, really just impossible to function as a person, right? It's like you just have to, you fall in on yourself, right? And there's also the fact that his name tag says, I don't care. Like, I don't care what my name is. That, very gender. Like, I feel like, if trans people and the connection with names, and it's like choosing names and having a new name, and it's like there's a lot of gender going on with the circus and how like names are regarded, right? So it's like the idea of Jax being like the idea of Jax having like this the idea of Jax the idea of Jax, like, specifically writing out, like, I don't care about my name, even though that's like, Jax is just 3 letters. You could put Jax, no effort. I don't care is longer. He put in more effort. This is Jax's whole thing. I'm putting in so much. I care so much about you thinking I don't care, right? Right? So it's like, if you didn't care, why wouldn't you just write your name? It's short. It's 3 letters. Or just leave it blank. Or just write, like, or just, I don't know, any number of things. But writing I don't care specifically is, like, a full sentence, right? Just, it hints at something. And then there's the, like, part where he gets yoinked by Gangle, and that feels, the way he's like, no one's looking at this, right? Like, no one can see me. That, like, I'm doing something, this is shameful, this is embarrassing, no one can see me, right? Like, this very, yeah, that feels, that, like, and also the, like, the flashing screens, and it's like the Clockwork Orange type thing. It feels like, it feels like a kind of thing where it's like trying to change you to force you to conform and fit into the mold, right? That's what Gengel's like things are doing, because that's what Gengel's mind is doing to itself at the moment, right? So it's just like it's a representation of like being forced to fit into the mold, and it's like, oh, re-education. It feels like almost like symbolic for conversion therapy, but like I don't have enough to like. I haven't laid that groundwork yet. We'll get to that later, and then once we're there, we'll circle back. But yeah, okay. Now, episode 5 is where the real evidence starts. This is where, like, up until this point, you could just this was like a dismissible theory. You didn't have to really examine it. You didn't have to like if you would just go with in-show evidence, it didn't have much of a basis. But episode 5 is where things really start taking off. Okay, for episode 5, let's start with something light, which is when Kinger has that moment where he's just like, hey, Ragatha, can you help me count my eggs before they hatch? Again, this probably doesn't mean much, but if it means what it could mean, that would be hilarious foreshadowing. Like, the episode with the most transjax evidence is the one where Kinger it says, hey, help me count my eggs before they hatch. For people who don't understand, an egg in the trans community is someone who is trans, but either hasn't realized they're trans or are repressing the fact that they're trans, or just like hasn't admitted it. It can be like, it's a very broad term, but it just basically, it means like person who is trans, but is either closeted or repressing, or just hasn't realized it or hasn't admitted it to themselves yet. Right? So it's like, help me count my eggs before they hatch. And it's like, I got it. There's one right there. Right? But yeah, so that's the first one. And then Jax's adventures are very interesting, because they're very because the first one is just like, oh, I'm the hunter. Like he's Bugs Bunny, and yet he's playing the role of Elmer Fudd, right? It's very funny. And then he gets Bugs Bunnied, right? Where he gets it turned around on him by Zubul, right? Where it becomes forced to become a vegan and whatnot. And it's like, that's just more like a play on like, oh, Jax's whole thing is like, I will lash out so that I am not the one hurt, right? Like, if I attack everyone, no one can hurt me, right? And it's also just like it's a bad defense mechanism that people who have suffered a lot tend to employ, right? People who've been betrayed by people who claimed to care about them have a tendency to lash out in that form of way, where it's like, if I hurt everyone, no one can get close enough to hurt me first, right? Like. And it's also just like if I put on this mask, if I hurt everyone, if I'm just an asshole, if I'm just like this big bad person and I portray that to the world, then if people hate me, well, that's fine, because they're not hating the real me. They're just hating the front I show them, right? And it's like, but if I show them the real me and they hate that, well, then what do I do? That's the real me. There's no second mask under this Scooby-Doo villain, right? So it's like, yeah. And then there's for the Pomni adventure, I didn't see any clues for that one, but I haven't looked over it frame by frame. I've looked over most of the show frame by frame, but I haven't looked over that one frame by frame. But just like the thing was like, oh, you look like the position of power suited you, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But like, I'm a funny bunny shipper, but like no romance. But like, hey, ayo, yeah, but yeah. So there's not much in that adventure, and then for the anime adventure.
What is this? I don't like this.
Oh, can it? At least we finally have one that's by someone else.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than being back in school.
Now this is like, there's nothing more fun than being back in school, and it's like, Jax, did you not have a very good time in school? I wonder why. Again, having a bad time in school is not an exclusively transgender experience, but it's like the fact that Jax is the only like quote unquote boy in the group, right? Like he's the only boy there, and all the other are like women or non-binary, and it's like, or that's the teacher. It's like, so it's like he's alone by himself, and it's just like separated from the others, and it's like, it feels, yeah. And it's again, he reaches out to Pomni like,
Pomni, First she draws anime, now she drags us all into one. She must be one of them, losers.
Leans back to talk to her, right? But it's like, he feels a connection to Pomni for some reason, and I can't quite, maybe because she lost Gummy Goo and he also lost someone, and maybe he feels like a kind of internal kinship, but it's impossible. It's not currently, I can't currently say why he felt drawn to her, but he did for some reason. But yeah, I feel this whole, like, how I hate school, I hate this. And also his whole thing is like, oh yeah, oh, she likes anime, what a loser. And it's like, how do you know what a slice of life is then?
Slice of life animes are the worst ones. It's embarrassing. I mean, I guess it's not as embarrassing as that time Gangle took an anime figure and...
That's fine. Let's get this one.
Like, slice of life animes are the worst ones, just after you've called anime loser stuff, and it's like, oh, yeah, how would you know they're the worst one if it's loser stuff that you would never engage with? It's pure copium, right? It's, yet again, it's a mask of like, hey, if I attack all the vulnerability around me, like I will be safe, right? If I punch everybody in the dick, no one can punch me in the dick, right? It's that kind of vibe, right? And then we get to the stargazing scene. Okay, now this is juicy. Like, this is like the next three like adventures are just packed to the brim with just, hey, what? Like, Jax? Hey, you want to explain yourself there at all? No? Okay, right. So for one, the way he's like, do you think Gangle's... Oh, there's this is the part I want to go over first. He's like, I prefer a little more bite to my adventure.
Are we just chilling for this one? Can I finally relax?
I guess so, but I prefer a little bite to my adventures.
I feel like, because when we see that Jax isn't doing something energetic or isn't, like, having fun, he's, like, not having a good time. Like, when he's not, like, doing something over the top and violent, and it's like, he tends to, like, just be alone and silent in his room. I think Jax knows that, like, things being, like, quiet and silent for him is not good, right? Hence why he like likes more exciting adventures. He wants the adventures to be over top, exhilarating, exciting. He just he does not want to be alone with his thoughts, right? That's why even though he sucks so hard to everybody and it's just the worst, right? Even though he's like objectively like a dick to everybody, right? Despite that, he still seeks connection with those people, right? So it's like, why would he do that unless he were somehow he's a human being, he needs connection, right? And so it's like he wants to be distracted from his thoughts, his internal world. So that's why he likes exciting adventures. He doesn't want to be alone with his thoughts, because we see what happens when he's alone with his thoughts. Episode 7, right? That's what happens when Jax is alone with his thoughts, right? So, yeah, and then we get on to the next part.
Do you think Gangle is actually capable of being happy?
What?
I don't know, like her comedy mask still breaks every day. Does she think hanging out with Zubul is gonna magically fix that?
Do you think Gangle is actually capable of being happy? Now, it'll come as no shock to you that this is projection. Like, oh my god, like projection, like with the the projection that they do is like, you know how they shine the ads in the sky? Like, that's the level of projection Jax is doing in this moment, right? Where he's like, oh, Gangle is not, like, I'm not capable of being happy. Why is Gangle? Or Gangle can't be capable of happy if I'm not, right? Doesn't she see that she'll forever be like doesn't she understand that she'll forever be trapped within her role, like me? Doesn't she understand that she can never change or become different from my view of her? Just like I can never change and become different than my view of myself, right? Like, it's that fucking thing. It's that poison that seeps into the hearts of repressed people, right? Like, hey, I can't ever change, and neither can you. It's why there's so many closeted like homophobes that end up being closeted. And it's like, I can't have this, neither can you, right? It's just this. It's just that, right? It's that It's like a primal thing. It's just like it's a projection thing. It's like, hey, this thing is, I hate this thing about myself, so I hate it about you. Or it's like you can't change because I can't change. You can't have that, so like I can't have that, so you can't have that. It's like yeah. So that's his projection. So it's like, and then
Maybe she just doesn't want to hang out with someone who's mean to her all the time.
She likes when I'm mean to her, though.
I didn't think you cared about what other people like.
No, yeah, you're right. I don't.
I didn't think you cared about what other people like, right? And it's like Jax does care about that very deeply, and you could tell the way he looks away. He's like, yeah, you're right, I don't. And it's like, okay, yeah, I buy that. Sure, I totally believe you, man. Right? But no, the way he says it, the way she says it is like, I didn't think you cared about what other people like, and it's like, I think he cares about what other people like, but in more of a less than like what they actually like on an individual level, like, oh, I like this or I like this. It's more of a just like he cares about what people, quotation marks, like people like how he's supposed to be perceived, and he's trying to fulfill the role. He's been like that. If he's transfem, like he's trying to fulfill the role that he thinks other people are trying to like impose on him, and so it's like this thing of like, hey, I am doing what the people want. I am filling the role of man, right? Look, I've emotionally mutilated myself, right? The only emotions that men are allowed to experience without being treated as like lesser are like Schadenfreude, which is like taking joy out of people's sufferings, arrogance and anger, right? There can never be like smile, happy joy if you're a man. Right? Like, look at all those red pill manosphere things. They can only take joy if they are crushing somebody else. They can only take joy in the suffering of others or in the pride of their own accomplishments. They can never just, like, be happy, because that's some bitch shit, right? And then the other emotion they're allowed to experience is anger, like all-encompassing, bone-deep, seething hate. And so it's like, those, you get to pick three emotions. You get Schadenfreude, anger, and apathy. Those are your lot, right? And so it's like that's part of like, and that's why a lot of young men are irony poisoned to hell and back, where they're just like, sincerity, I'll sooner die, right? It's like sarcastic, and it's like yeah, I'm real happy, yeah, right? And so, yeah, so that's like a part of it. And so it's like, when of course Ragatha comes in out of nowhere, it's like, I don't blame Ragatha for this. It was clearly like an accident, right? Like, or it's like she didn't say it with an intent to cause harm, but like, god damn, girl, like, look at this.
Do you have any actual friends?
Not anymore. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. I wasn't talking about that. That wasn't meant to be. Hey, Kinger! Did you see the fireflies all the way over there?
She just, not anymore. Like, oh, okay, damn, right? If I like, honestly, Jax, like, if I was him, I would have immediately been like abstracted in front of her and been like, your fault, right? But this is on you, like, but I'm a vindictive person, right? But so it's like, so that's the big part. And then once,
What was that about?
It's nothing. Who cares? Doesn't she get on your nerves sometimes?
I mean, she's nice to everyone.
I don't know. I think she tries way too hard. Like, we're stuck in... Why are you always pretending everything's always fine? Like, if you tell someone they're loved and appreciated every day, it just kind of loses all meaning. It just feels like she's trying to take advantage of you, you know? I don't know.
of course, he's like, it feels like they're trying to take advantage of you. Like, the way he says that is like, he's like, if you tell someone they're loved and appreciated every day, it loses all meaning. And it's like, I feel like he was told he was loved and appreciated by people who did not love and appreciate him, right? Like, I don't think by Ribbit. I think Ribbit actually did care for him, right? But I believe that his family might have, my current theory is that Jax I'll get into the full evidence later, but my current theory is that Jax came out to his family. They betrayed him and tried to send him to a conversion camp, and he escaped and ended up in the circus. And that's why he didn't want to leave the circus, because he was like, oh God, if I get out, I'm going back to the conversion camp, right? So that's my theory. But so then we have the infamous.
Also, she's dumb and she looks weird.
Think we all look weird.
Excuse you. This is what peak male performance looks like. My ears and tail are kind of the pinnacle of masculinity.
You don't have a tail.
What are you talking about? Yes, I do. What the? Where's my tail? How long have I not had my tail?
I have never seen you with a tail.
When would that have even...
It's like, oh, look, don't you see my ears and tail are the pinnacle of masculinity? Now that's some egg stuff, right? Like, the way he sarcastically references his own masculinity, like it's a joke to even think he is masculine, right? He perceives the idea of him being masculine as a joke, despite portraying it so hard, right? So he's like, my ears and tail are the pinnacle of masculinity, right? But the fact that he says that and then immediately after his tail is missing, that's... My ears and tail are the pinnacle of masculinity? Oh, okay, well your tail is gone, and then in episode 8, your ears are peeled back to be revealed that it's just a part of a mask or an outer shell that that is like not actually a part of you. Okay, so ears and tail, symbolic for masculinity, and they are physically removable from him. They are not a thing that is intrinsic to him in any way. Masculinity is not actually a part of him. It's a thing he wears, right? Like that's very, 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 very transgender. Like, oh my God, if you ask, any trans woman, hey, when you were a man, did you feel like any of that masculinity was actually a part of you, or did it feel like a thing you wore, right? Like, for anybody who are listening to this, if you're a man listening to this, and you feel like masculinity is a thing you wear and not a thing that's intrinsically connected to you and your identity, oof, I have some good news and bad news. The good news is that your life is about to get a lot more interesting. The bad news is that it's bad interesting, right? So, yeah, there's that. And then there's like... So it's like the tail is missing, and then he looks distraught by it, and it's like, and then they move on to the bar scene. Oh, the bar scene.
Around alcohol, huh?
Yeah, this was one of my suggestions. I worked at a bar briefly. I like making drinks.
That sounds fitting for you.
I know there's an implication there, but I can't be Hey, I'm always down to make art together if you want.
Oh, I didn't know you were an artist too, Zubal.
Yeah, I was a tattoo artist for a couple years.
A bartender and a tattoo artist? You're killing me here, Zuby.
What do you mean when you say that? Do you have, like, an actual point, or are you just talking?
I'm just having fun. I forgot you hate fun.
Fun isn't the thing I hate.
This is what got me to think that Jax might not be an egg necessarily, or, like, maybe he is an egg. It's like, because there's multiple meanings for eggs, because, like, there are a lot of eggs, quote-unquote, who are, like, know that they're eggs. So like it sounds like counterintuitive, but it's like there are a lot of trans people who are like eggs is someone who hasn't realized they're trans. That's what it's used for mostly. But it's like you can realize you're trans and not like realize it, right? Like I was making egg jokes and egg memes about myself for like nearly a year before I actually had that like full moment of realization, like, oh, this isn't just a bit. Oh no, right? Like this isn't just a funny bit I'm doing. This is actually like, I know I related to the trans memes, and there was this knowledge in the back of my head that like, yeah, but it wasn't actually like, I knew, but I didn't know. In the same way, like you can know something, but it doesn't like you don't realize it, like the consequences of it. Like, for example, like the best way I can describe it is like if you see on the news headline like building destroyed. You go, yep, I know that building is destroyed, and then, but it's different if you go to that building and you actually see the rubble, and it's like, oh, this building was destroyed, right? Like that's like, it's a different types of knowing things, right? Like the know objectively, and then the know, like the actually like knowing and internalizing and understanding, right? So it's like that's the bar scene makes me think that Jax knows he is trans nominally, or at least is like maybe he does like, or at least like he knows he's trans nominally, or he knows he's got some kind of gender stuff going on, but he hasn't fully internalized or realized it. And the reason I say this is because the comments he makes towards Zubul. And Zubul seems to, I think this is where Zubul starts to clock that Jax might have something going on with him, gender-wise, because Zubul starts calling out, like, what do you mean by that? But it's like, when Zubul's like, oh yeah, I was a bartender, and it's like, sounds fitting for you. And it's like, non-binary lesbian bartender, that is a genre of person, right? And then you get to the part where it's like, oh, I was a tattoo artist, and he's like, a tattoo artist and a bartender? Like, the whole thing of like, oh, non-binary, like, lesbian tattoo artist bartender, like, that is, like, a genre, like, that's like, you know, like, the whole thing was like, oh, the blue hair Starbucks barista, right? So it's like the blue hair non-binary Starbucks barista. It's a stereotype within the community. But my question is, like, why does Jax know that, right? Like, we have confirmation that Jax isn't a bigot by both, like, his voice actor and by, like, explicit things where the Gooseworks has said herself. So it's like, he's not a bigot, right? We know he's not a bigot, so how does he know these things? The only options for him to know these things are, like, one, he's integrated with LGBT, like, circles, or he, like, understands their lingo, right? Like, this is an in-joke. This is an in-joke in the queer community. So you don't have to be, like, queer to know it. Like, there are a lot of cis guys who are, or, like, cis-het guys who are in with the queer community, and, like, they hang around them. But it's like, you have to at least hang around them, right? So it's like, Jax has some kind of connection to queerness, and he was able to, like, pick out that, right? So, yeah. So that's the bartending scene is very interesting to me for everybody's characters, because it reveals a lot about them. But it's like, Jax is specifically the way, like, I almost wish they had stayed in that adventure longer, because it was clear that he was getting drunk towards the end, right? And it's like, imagining, like, drunk Jax, like, spilling all of his secrets. Someone write a fic about that. I would love to read it. But, yeah. And then we get to again, we've gone over, like, nearly 30 minutes of evidence, and yet people are always like, your only evidence is the maid outfit. And it's like, the maid outfit is just the beginning. The maid outfit is just the first thing that made most people like, huh, what? Right? Okay. And a lot of people misinterpret the maid outfit stuff, so I'm going to get to that in, all right, so, the baseball stuff. All right, starting now. Also, just realizing this now post-recording, Jax orders a whiskey sour, hold the egg white, because vegan. But that symbolism, again, this is incredibly tiny detail, but it's like whiskey sour, so it's like whiskey is a very masculine drink, technically. Like, it's associated with masculinity. It's like you go back and it's like always the men drinking whiskey, and then the women have the fruity drinks or whatever. It's, sexism, go burr, right? But the way Jax is like, oh, it's like, oh, the whiskey's a masculine drink. Oh, it's a sour drink. It has like flavors, and it has like sugars added to it. Okay. And then there's egg white in it, and he's an egg. So it's like, that might not be anything, but it's like, But hold the egg white because his mind is being messed with. So it's like, oh, like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it's like, there's something there. If anyone knows about, like, drink symbolism, I was looking into it, and I couldn't find any symbolic things for, I know that I looked up whiskey, and it's like, whiskey is symbolic for masculinity, and it's like, oh, whiskey is symbolic for masculinity, meanwhile fruity drinks are symbolic of femininity, and it's like, oh, a whiskey sour is like a whiskey drink with, like, fruitiness hidden inside with egg white, and it's like, that, like, again, wild reach on my part, but it's like, I've got, this is meant to be comprehensive of, like, all the evidence. There's, like, a lot, right? So it's like, I want to go over every detail, so it's like, if I end up covering something that doesn't end up actually, mattering, it's like, well, I'd rather be too in-depth than under-in-depth. Okay, and so, for the softball thing, I'm not even going to get to the maid outfit first. The first thing I'm going to go over is the evil counterparts.
Big tops.
Sup, I'm Evil Pomni. I'm Evil Ragamuffin.
Coach Dictator here.
Hi, guys. I'm Evil Jax.
Evil Orbs Man reporting for duty.
I'm Bazooble. Yibba-dooba-da.
The belief that the evil counterparts represent aspects that the other members of the circus suppress, Evil Ragatha is just like all the frustration and anger that Ragatha has towards Jax or towards everyone, right? That's suppressed that. So it's like, oh, Evil Ragatha is a representation of that. Evil Pomni is like very like Evil Pomni is very Evil Pomni is very like vulgar and like yeah, fuck you, do whatever. And it's like I feel like she has like an era, like she's like even though she is like, we see it in the episode where she crashes out on Jax. It's like she like is not as soft nor as like soft and like, oh look, I'm look at how soft and nice I am. I've got no rough edges, I swear. Right? She's not nearly as much of that as we think, because like we see it in episode 6 when she just starts absolutely dogging on Jack, like giving him the business, right? So it's like, and then there's evil dictator. There's the dictator, or evil kinger, right? Who is like this angry, like, oh fuck. I feel like that was Kinger, back before he lost Queenie. I feel like he was like got frustrated with being trapped in the circus, and he got like angry and frustrated constantly. And then after he lost Queenie, that's the part of him he suppresses now, right? And so that's why he's so like soft and understanding and like never upset about anything ever, because he's like, oh no, I don't have the right to be sad ever. Nope. I don't have the right to be angry ever because of what happened last time I was, right? It's like, so it's like, that's, yeah. And then there's Bazubal, who, I don't know, maybe I feel like Zubal portrays a sense of competence. They are a very competent person, and like they portray a big sense of confidence, but then like they like I feel like they might be like suppressing, like, hey, they don't know everything all the time, or like there's like like they portray themselves like they like help Zubal out. They're always like, yeah, I'm the wise one, I know what I'm doing all the time. And so they might like repress that sense of like, hey, I don't know what's going on all the time. And so Zubal might be Bazubal might be a representation of that. Again, that one's a stretch, but the other ones I get. I don't understand Orbsman, and maybe Gangle doesn't have an evil clone because Gangle is like, I feel like Gangle is the least repressed. It sounds wild because of the Manic Gangle, but it's like Manic Gangle was the previous episode, and it's like since then she's learned not to like suppress all of her emotions, and it's like ironically, for the one with the physical mask, she's the one who's the most honest about her like experience and like her desires and her feelings. So it's like, because she's the least repressed, or she isn't like repressed like the other ones, she doesn't have a mask, like she doesn't have an evil clone, like that might be, that's my current theory about that, right? So yeah, that explains why but taking that into account, taking that perspective into account, that all the evil clones are just repressed versions of their originals, right? Like the repressed aspects of their originals. Evil Jax being this like soft, shy, hey guys, I really care. I have emotions and feelings, right? That feels accurate, because it's like that's basically every pre and post transition person I've ever met. Again, I don't mean to relate this to myself, but pre-transition I was very like, hey, I don't care if I'm alive, why would I care if you are, right? Like I was a very mean, like rough person, and then, you know, estrogen gave me a soul, right? Like estrogen was like, I took HRT, and I was like, oh no, I actually care about people, and I want them. It's like I've instantly like reversed course, and so now it's like I'm very good at like talking to people and like helping people, and just, I don't know, just generally being there for people when they need me. So it's like that thing where it's like, that's the repressed aspect of Jax. Like he actually does deep down care a lot, but he keeps that repressed because men aren't allowed to care about things. But also like that could be like, hey, hey, this is probably what like Jax would be like if she transitions. But you know, you never know. But it'd be interesting. But yeah, so that's my theory for the evil clones, and for why I like, so evil Jax represent Jax's like repressed kindness. Like everybody else is their repressed like insecurities, like, and his insecurity is like repressed softness, repressed vulnerability, repressed all that stuff. So it's like, yeah. Which would explain why his instinctive response when he sees it, like being all like, "Oh, hi guys," is a bit like, I want to kill that guy, because he hates his own internalized, like he hates his own vulnerabilities, right? He's the exact type, like Jax's worst fear is coming across himself, right? Because he's the exact kind of person who would like target vulnerability. So he sees himself and he sees all his own vulnerabilities laid bare before him, and he's like, I hate that guy. That guy sucks, right? Like immediately hates it, right? That feels very, that feels accurate. And now, on to the maid outfit. Okay. I'm going to do some counter-argument I know the counter-arguments are saved for the end, but I need to do some preemptive counter-arguments because, like, the amount of people I see read this scene, they're just like, if Jax is transfem, why doesn't he like the dress? And it's like, it's like, the moment I read that, the moment I know that they're absolute, like, that it was written by the most cisgender heterosexual person in the universe, because it's like, why would a closeted trans girl not enjoy having her, like a closeted repressed trans girl not enjoy having the deepest, most vulnerable aspect of her existence pulled forth and like mocked publicly? Yeah, I wonder why that might not be fun, right? It's like I wonder why. And it's like, and we see Jax's eyes do the squiggly thing, right? Like we like this the scratchy thing, which we only see that happen when Jax is like having a nearly having an emotional breakdown, right? So it's like, I feel like that's very, that's very, so it's an emotional breakdown. So I feel like that's very accurate. I feel like that's like this, like it's played as a joke, but I feel like Jax was more messed up by this scene than most people think. Where it's like, like if he's a closet repressed trans girl, and it's like, if he knows he's trans, then this is like, oh God, they know, everybody knows, everyone's gonna make fun of me, right? Which we see is his greatest fear, right? But then, if we like take that, if we take it and he's an egg and he hasn't fully realized, and it's like, oh yeah, this thing that has been like dwelling in the back of his mind, that he's been like feeling weird about, right? And then, like, oh, that is brought forth and everyone is gonna mock it, right? It's like, it's there for laughs, and it's like, oh yeah. But it's like that argument pisses me off so bad. They're like, why wouldn't he enjoy it if he was a closet trans girl? And it's like, okay, let's bring out your deepest, most guiltiest pleasure in the universe and like lay that bare before all of your like peers, and then publicly mock you for it. We'll see how happy you are to be in that situation. You know, it's just like, it's just the most out of touch thing ever. Where it's just like, come on, man, think a little bit. Think for like one singular solitary second here, right? So yeah, with the maid outfit, but the thing I want to go over is just the thing. There's so many aspects of this maid outfit that just intrigue me endlessly, right? For one, when Jax moves in the maid outfit, he like instinctively knows to like pick up his dress.
Yes! You!
Which, like, wouldn't be something you know unless you had worn a dress before, right? Well, we would not, maybe not necessarily, it wouldn't be something you know, but it wouldn't be something you instinctively, like, if you are not used to being in dresses, then, like, it wouldn't occur to you, most likely, to, like, raise the dress as you run, right? That's, like, especially with a skirt that short, where it's, like, it wouldn't get in the way of his legs moving, and it's, like, it's just, it feels like it's intentional. And so it's like, you might be saying like, oh, you're reading into a very small detail, and it's like, yeah, every single frame of that took somebody hours to do, right? It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it feels very symbolic. And it's like, and then the scraggly eye thing where he's like blushing and getting things. Like,
Max, you're up to bat. Don't wanna, quite look like this though.
Seems fitting for you, though. I figured you'd be into this.
What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just having fun. I forgot you hate fun.
I don't want to wear this.
I have never seen you this upset about something.
Jax!
I feel like he's got a lot of internalized transphobia. He's like, I hate this about myself, I hate this. Like, and I feel like it's an intro, like, I hate that I am not, like, opposed to this as well, right? And so there's also, but then there's the thing that really, like, makes me, hey, what's going on here, is when Zubal's just like, I thought you'd be into this, right? Which, like, I took as her just doing, like, them doing just a shot at Jax for being like, by basically being like, oh, you've got toxic masculinity, like, oh, I'm going to insinuate that you might enjoy this. And it's like, what's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? Like, but then when they see, like, Jax actually get upset, I feel like that's when they begin to clock, like, hey, what's up with this, like, that combined with the previous bar scene where he knew a bunch of queer stuff, I feel like that all like ties it. Like I feel like this is when Zubul really starts clocking Jax as like, mayhaps perchance a tad. Perhaps he is one of the queers as well, right? Like I feel like it's Zubul reading that pretty quick, reading that on his face, and it's like that. I feel like is what that meant, and so it's when like Jax goes out, and then it's this. But the thing that's really interesting to me that I feel like not a lot of people talk about is how Jax, after he comes back and he's sitting down with Pomni, and then like there's a big argument with Ragatha. It's like it's how he crosses his leg in the background. Look, I'll play right here. It's like it's how he crosses his leg in the background. Look, I'll play right here. So the moment people aren't pointing out the fact or making fun of him, like I feel like Jax liking the maid outfit is like I feel like he actually does like the maid outfit, but like or at least in part does when he's not being mocked openly for it. So it's like the moment nobody's looking at him, like or they're looking at him, but it's like the moment nobody's like pointing out to him how ridiculous he looks or like laughing at him or trying to like make fun of him, the moment he's just like able to just sit and be comfortable and he's not like the center of attention. I notice how he like crosses his leg, gets all comfortable, has like all these feminine mannerisms. I feel like this is like I feel like that's very, very like that's some pretty damning evidence of like, hey, you might not be as opposed to this as you're making yourself out to be, all right? So it's like that's very that feels yeah. So yeah, the maid outfit. The maid outfit is just so the people they're like, oh, the maid outfit is the only evidence you have, and it's like, oh, you're just to say that because he gets put in a dress. It's like, no, I'm saying that because he gets put in a dress and then has a big, way too emotional response for it, which might be toxic masculinity, or you never know. But it's like, but then he like, but that in connection with the thing about like the lack of connection to masculinity and the whole like, and the queer comments, it's like all of it is just so. All of it is just so, like, if it's like, again, this is one of those things where it's like, if you're not trans, you probably can't see it, right? Because you just, people who aren't trans don't seem to be able to see much of anything. But like, if you're not trans, you probably won't be able to see the clues. But like, listen to trans women when we say, "Hey, this is not how a cisgender man reacts. Like, this is not how this is not how people react. Like, this is not how a cisgender man acts. This is just this yeah. So yeah, this feels all very and then there's the and yeah, there's the eyes widening thing. It's just there's a whole lot going on that just tips me off. And also, again, with the evil Jax thing, the moment he gets freed from the adventure, the first thing he does is like attack the like symbolic representation of his inner vulnerability. He like lunges at them and just right. It's like it feels symbolic. That feels very that feels this again again, you might hear these and things like, well, all these points by themselves don't indicate anything, and you'd be right. By themselves, each of these points can be written off, right? But when you put them in aggregate, like they start painting a picture. It's just like one fingerprint at a crime scene does not a case make, right? But if there's like a bunch of fingerprints all over the crime scene and also a picture of you with a knife in the body, like it feels like we're laying a path. We're painting a picture here, and it's like not every like you're looking at the individual brushstrokes and being like, well, why isn't that the full picture yet? It's like, just wait. We'll get there, right? Okay, and so yeah. Okay, and so now we're on to episode 6, which, oh my god, there's so much evidence. All right. Okay, next with episode 6. There's some little hints in the beginning, but I want to, with something he says about, like, Zubul's parts, but I want to tie that in with the big moment in episode 7. So I'll start with, again, this is a one-off tangent thing that probably isn't related, but the way Jax reacts when, Zubul says they want to have sex.
All right. You really want to know what I want?
Oh no.
I want the ability to have sex.
No way. Are we finally having this conversation?
It's like, the way he looks back and forth, like, are we finally having this conversation? Very much gives me Virgin. Like, Virgin who has definitely totally had sex, he swears, right? Like, that's the vibe I get from that. right? But it's like, but yeah, that's just that. But it's like when he goes to when it's a team up time, that's really interesting to me. How he goes to team up with Gangle first.
Come on, Sadie. You're coming with me.
I'm actually gonna be on a team with Zubul.
What? No, you're not. We've been together for every team adventure in the past.
Guess times are changing, bunny boy.
I feel like he hates Gangle, or like doesn't hate Gangle, but it's like jealous of Gangle in several ways. For one, if the Transfem Jax theory is true, then like gender envy might be a big one. But also, he's like, I feel like he's jealous of Gangle because Gangle has the like this. Gangle is like soft and fragile, but like she again, this is a thing that you'll find a lot of trans femmes relate to. The permission to be soft is like one of the big reasons why a lot of us transition. But it's like maybe not even the big reason, but like it's a very important one. It's like this: women have a lot more permission of softness than men are. So it's like the way that like so it's like yeah, like Gangle is like soft and like weak, quote unquote, but it's like she has this permission of softness that Jax feels he doesn't have. And so it's like he's envious, and so it's like, but I also feel like he's like drawn towards her, but it's like in this way where it's like he likes to hang around her, but it's like it's just there's a lot of it. So it's like I feel like he might be jealous of her gender, like jealous that her mask is like she can take off her mask, right? He can't, right? That's also another part of the thing that I feel like he's jealous about. Like, oh, my mask is on all the time. I cannot remove it. Like, for fear of my own mortal soul, right? Like, meanwhile, she can just pop it on and off whenever she wants, and she can show the real, like, despite having the mask, is the one who is, like, the most capable of revealing her real emotions and feelings, right? Like, well, besides maybe Pomni, but, like, yeah, but, like, I feel like even Pomni has some, like the way Zubul just effortlessly is like, yeah, sure, this is the real me, and then she just portrays, like, gives it out to the world. And it's like that's why I feel like Manager Gangle was like the moment when she was most like Jax. Like, again, not as chaotic as Jax, because it was more of like an orderly, like a lawful evil, right? Jax is chaotic evil, but it's like this like constant vibe of like of like, oh, I'm on this mask all the time. I'm putting on this fake smile. And it's like the mask can't be like taken. It can't be like destroyed or removed. And it's like, that's how Jax feels most of the time. And that's why Jax is like hates Manager Gangle a lot, because like Manager Gangle is like a reflection of him, but it's also like a reflection of, it's also a reflection of if he were to, like, again, the worst person for Jax to encounter is himself, right? So, yeah, so that's why I feel like, so he like wants to team up with Gangle because like he feels like drawn to them, but also like he doesn't like them. It's like this weird gender envy where it's like again, this will be a lot of like a trans will like relate to this when you're looking at a woman and you're like, am I attracted to her? Or do I want to be her? Right? And the answer is yes, right? Like yeah. So it's like there's that, and then there's the part where Pomni comes up to him.
You have a partner yet?
Well, look who it is. You sure you can handle me in all my glory?
I've been through worse.
He's like, you sure you can handle me in all my glory? It's like, Jax never brags, which this is going to sound wild. Jax never brags sincerely, which is interesting, right? He's never like, wow, I'm so cool. I like, look at this. Look at how strong I am. Like, oh, look at this. He never portrays himself as impressive unless it's like as a joke. Like, look at this. Oh yeah, you can handle me in all my glory. Oh, this is what peak male performance looks like, dear. Like, it's this very like ironic thing of like, I cannot conceive of a world in which I could be impressive, so it's a joke to even suggest such an idea, right? That's my perspective on it, at least. So yeah, so then there's the so that's how it is at first, and then there's the oh god, and then there's the archetype scenes. Oh, okay, all right, I'll get into that. That one is okay. Just up. Okay, we'll play the little archetype thing right here.
Let me be real here. Why do you care about that?
About not hurting my friends?
Look, I know what it's like. One day you're somebody in the real world doing important things, and then the next you're just a weird little cartoon jester. You want to hold on to that part of you that still thinks it's part of that world, but in the end, what does it get you? Ragatha tries to be all nice and friendly, but she gets torn up every other adventure. Whether we like it or not, All we are now is a bunch of cartoon characters. So what's the point of pretending we're not?
We're still people, though, right?
I thought we were at first, but as time goes on, we just end up falling into our archetypes, become part of the machine.
What's your archetype, then? The villain?
Listen, I add a key dynamic. I see how far I can push things. I screw with people, and I break the fourth wall. You want to know why? It's 'cause it's funny. I do everything 'cause it's funny. 'Cause I'm the funny one.
The funny one?
Yeah. Ragatha's the cheerful one, Gangle's the sad one, Kinger's the crazy one, Zubal's the grumpy one, and you are the one who hasn't figured that out yet. We all just became archetypes. I at least have the self-awareness to choose who I am.
The funny one.
So who do you want to be? No better chance than now to try something new. You want to go nuts? You want to finally work off those weeks of rage and anguish that have been building up inside you? I know you hate it here. Everyone does. But the silver lining is you can pretty much do whatever you want. Like, look at the way you're aiming that gun. Too realistic. Just let loose.
Okay, so that whole speech was just pure transgender energy, right? Like I'm like, I don't even know how to properly put it into words. Like, okay, you still like it's the way he tries to relate, where it's like he's like, hey, look, I get it. You still want to. You wake up one day, you're this body, and it's like you still want to believe you're a part of that world. You still want to like hold on to the part of you that still believes it's part of that world, and it's like. This feels, and then the archetype thing where it's like, hey, look, it's like all we are now is this thing, and we can never be different from this thing, and it's better to just accept it and then just try to live with the infinite suffering it gives you. It's just so like the whole archetype thing. All we are now is a bunch of cartoon characters. Or what's the point in pretending we're not? Like that line, like, what's the point in pretending we're not? It's like, all I'll ever be is a cartoon character. What's the point in pretending I'm not? All I'll ever be is a man. What's the point in pretending I'm not? Like that, that is it's a common line from like, it would just be pretending. Like I could never actually be this. It would just be fake. It would be like me pretending to be something I'm not. It's just illusion, right? Like that's a big insecurity for a lot of pre-transition people. But there's also just the way he's like, it's better to force myself to fit into this box. And it's like, I hate this. Like he says like, hey, you hate it here. We all do. And it's like, he hates this box. He's like, hey, I hate this box. I hate this life. I hate what I have. But it's better than the unknown. It's better than trying to do something real. Like this pain is worse. Like this pain is better than the pain of being known, right? Like this agony that I'm experiencing is infinitesimal compared to the agony of if I if I was tried to be something different. If I tried to be something different and then it failed, at least I have given up, I've given in. There is joy in surrender, that kind of thing. It's very like a defeatist. Like, hey, there's no point in trying. So why not just at least accept your role, right? It's so deeply transgender, right? It's just so it's like I hate this role, I hate this box I'm being put in, I hate this everything about who I am and what this is and what I have to be and what I feel like I have to be. But I play my part to perfection because it's all I can do. It's like I have to. I don't have a choice otherwise. There's no point in trying to pretend that I can be or do anything else or be someone different. It's just, I remember when I first watched when this episode first came out, because I came into the fandom around the time this episode came out, and so I just watched him say that, and I was just like, oh, that's what really got me. I saw the maid outfit thing, and I got a little bit clues where I was just like, is it maybe I saw his the masculinity and then the tail thing, but this is the thing I saw that I was just like, oh dear, oh baby girl, oh no, oof. I've gotta. You need to be You need to be saved. You estrogen could save her, right? Like that's the vibe I got from this, right? So that whole speech, like, just again, like there's so many bits where there's a word you could say if you just mentally replace it with a gender, and then like you get basically exactly, yeah, you understand precisely. I feel like most of the trans femmes who have like, again, this is the whole thing that's like, it's so difficult when it comes to transgender theorizing. That's like most people don't understand how being trans works, or like the symbols that represent it, or like the symbolism, or any of the like clues or hints about it. They're just like, so they always immediately dismiss it because their assumption is the baseline default, like, oh, everyone is cisgender and heterosexual until overwhelming evidence proves otherwise. And it's like, if you knew what the evidence was, then you show them the evidence, and they're just like, well, I don't understand that evidence, so it doesn't matter. And it's like, God damn it. Like, cishets understand anything ever challenge, impossible, right? Like, it just... it's like pulling teeth with them most of the time, where it's just like, unless a character looks directly at the screen and says, I am transgender, they will deny it and deny it and deny it till the end of time, right? Like, it's just, ugh, yeah. But yeah, so that's the archetype speech, and then there's another bit later on. Let me find that.
I know exactly what you're doing with Pomni, and it'll never work!
Huh?
You know, getting close with Pomni to corrupt her.
Okay, if this... Okay, I feel so bad for Regatha, this thing. If Jax is transgender and it's revealed in the final episode, oh my god, is this gonna get, like, this is gonna be, like, I could absolutely see the memes already of, like, people being like, Ragatha bigot, question mark? Or it's like, you're trying to corrupt Pomni with your evil transgender magics. You're trying to corrupt her with the woke mind virus. Oh my god. Again, obviously not at all what Ragatha did, and I don't think she, no. But it's like the idea of her saying that is just so unfathomably funny. Like, is it the idea? It makes me giggle thinking about it. Just the idea of her being like Alex Jones Ragatha. Oh, God. Okay, and now we have the Daisy song, which I will let play.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer.
Are you seriously gonna start singing that?
I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
Which, if anyone has been involved with the Transfem Jack stuff, the number one leading, like, there's no evidence for it besides this moment, but it's like, the main theory is that, like, when Jax transitions in the final episode, her name will be Daisy. She'll change her name to Daisy, based solely just on this song, and it's like, again, like, that was such a, like, it would be adorable. I would love it, right? It's like, that's the common headcanon name, like, referring to Transfem Jax, they just call her Daisy, just because, like, all right, like, we don't have a confirmed name yet, so we'll just go with the fanon name, right? Because there's, like, some thing of it. But there's one thing I wanted to know, which was, like, this is a minor, tiny thing. It's like Jax fluttering his lashes at Pomni, and it's like, that's a feminine, again, it's another thing where it's like, oh, feminine mannerisms or feminine features or feminine traits given to this guy who says he's the pinnacle of masculinity. And it's like, it's just... It's another, like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, add another one to the pile, right? Like, of the ever building evidence. Okay, but the crash out is where we get the big meat of the stuff in this episode.
Well, to be fair, our competition wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, true.
Okay. All right, so we have Jax pushing away Pomni, which, he's afraid to let people get close, both physically and emotionally, and it's just, that, obviously. But, so it's like, Jax's whole thing is he doesn't want anyone to see what's within, which we see with the next episode with the peeling, right? Where it's like he doesn't want anyone to see what's within, so he pushes people away. And so it's like I feel like he has an aversion to touch because he's just been so emotionally like crippled by all the stuff that's gone down. But it's like if he's transfem, we add in that layer on top of it, where it's like, ugh, I don't want you to see what's within the me for fear of yeah, all that. But this part is really funny.
Are you coming on to me? Yeah, that's what everybody wants. A straight couple.
Oh my god, can you take this seriously?
And it's like, oh, that's what everybody wants. A straight couple. And it's like, yeah, that's what that would be, Jax. Uh-huh, sure, I believe you. Most queer-coded motherfucker I've seen in the universe. Right? So it's like... So it's just Jax being like, oh, a straight couple. It's like, that's what everybody wants. And it's like... I cannot wait for Funny Bunny to be revealed to be lesbian. That will be hilarious, right? But it's like, I feel like, but the way he's saying that, it's like the idea of him being in a straight relationship is a joke. And it's like, the way he says it is like, oh yeah, it's like a straight couple. That's what everyone wants. And it's like, it's almost like he knows that if he were to be in a relationship with Pomni, it would not be a straight one, right? Unless T for T Funny Bunny, God, that would be so awesome. That'd be, God, that would peak, indescribable peak, right? But yeah, so there's that, and then there's the infamous egg comment.
Just a misunderstood little chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked open. Well, I am...
Oh, I'm just a little chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked open. Like, okay, if this show was made by a cis person, I would just write that off as just like, cis people saying shit they always do. But this was made by a transgender woman. This show was made by a trans woman. Like, she knows. A transgender woman who spends a lot of time on the internet. She knows. She knows what that word means. She knows what egg means. And she wrote every episode, and she had to choose every word that characters use. And it's like, she specifically chose for Jax to use the phrase, like, chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked open. And it's like, yeah, it's like, and like, absolutely transgender. And then there's the moment where he's like, there's nothing more to me, so please stop looking.
There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
God. If I was this closeted, repressed trans femme and I had a friend who was just like, I want to learn all of your secrets, that is exactly how I would respond too. Like, there's nothing more to me. Please stop looking. Oh, please, God, don't look. I do not find the soft, squishy underbelly within. I will die, right? I will instantly burst into flames. Like, so it's like, yeah, very whole interaction, just screaming transgender. And then we have the next part I want to, it's like, yeah, so it's just, also the way his mask just slips back on, and like, yeah, it's just, he wants everyone to hate him so no one looks deeper enough at him to realize the vulnerability. And then we have the bathroom scene, which again, very transgender.
God, you look stupid.
Right? Which he's like looking at him, like he has this whole breakdown in the mirror. And the first thing he does, first of all, it just goes to show like how his first response is always like sarcasm. But the way he like has this moment of vulnerability and pain and this agony, and his first response is to mock himself, right? Like, you look stupid, right? It's once again, Jax's worst fear is coming across another him. Like, that's his worst nightmare, right? Yeah, it's just, it's not good. My boy needs therapy. My girl needs therapy and estrogen. But it's, yeah, so it's like, that's episode 6. There might be some tiny details I might have, like, missed. But, again, this whole thing is just, like, most obviously transcoded character in the universe. We still have 2 more episodes of evidence to get through, and these 2 episodes are, okay, all right, so, starting with episode 7. Okay, so this is pulled from okay. So Episode 7, the first thing we're going to start with is Jax isn't even in this scene. It's just with the Chinese room gag. Keep in mind, I do not speak or read Mandarin, right? Like, I have no idea, like, what this actually says. I just am going off of what other people have said and, like, the translations I've seen online. But the Chinese characters shown on the pieces of paper that Kane slides through the door, or, like, that he gets back, is egg, pain, sadness, and help, right? So, like, again, a very symbolic. It feels like I'll show you some pictures on the screen that show exactly what I mean. Yeah, and so yeah, then we have the Zubul scene. Now this is I'll play it right here.
What was that for?
Oh, let me think. There's that time you ran me over with a steamroller, the time you pushed Gangle into a pool of piranhas, when you set me on fire, mailed me a pipe bomb, threw me into an active volcano. I could go on.
Aren't you supposed to be miserable about your ability to choose your own body or something?
Aren't you supposed to be causing trouble for everyone? I've been starting to think that maybe the ability to change is fine. Not needing to commit to one thing all the time.
How about that?
And if I do still have problems, I talk about them with the people I trust.
Good thing I don't have any problems, then.
So that scene, and Jax's whole dynamic with Zubul has just been very interesting, right? Like, I'm a multi-shipper. I ship everything all the time, forever, all the time. So, but Abst Rabbit is always one that's been interesting to me, just because, like Zubul has always been the one seeing through Jax's veil the most. Right, but there's also been, like, this moment really put some other moments into perspective. Like this moment from episode 4, where it's like you handed out parts to Zubul.
What the heck is this? You're just giving away parts now?
And then Zubul's like, I wouldn't give any to you. And then there's the part in episode 6 where is the part in episode 6 where it's like, oh, you making good use of your parts.
Making good use of your parts gimmick, huh?
It's just like. Then you have this scene where it's like Jax is literally just like aren't you supposed to be miserable about your ability to choose your own body? It's so bitter and jealous and like and then like when Zubul's like, maybe being able to change isn't that bad, and Jax has just got the most like, imagine that, which would be my response if someone came up to me and they're like, yeah, I have the ability to shapeshift and control the and like change and alter my body in various ways, and they're just like, I hate it. I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna go punch a wall. I'm gonna go like dip my I'm just gonna go punch a vat of acid. I don't know. I'm gonna go like peel my skin off or something. Like, congratulations. I'm glad that sucks for you. Like, but like Jax being like, oh, maybe, but Zubul being like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. And then Jax is like, imagine that. And then I feel like that's like that line is very eggy. And the ways, and again, this whole thing is like Zubul is the other trans character, and it's like. Like, this is the Egdar going off, right? Like trans people do have an Egdar. They can, like, it's that meme of the homophobic dog. Like, I know what you are, right? Like we we can tell if we have like a speck of observational ability. So it's like. So it's just, and also there's the fact that Jax is the only one not wearing a swimsuit, and it's like trans people very notoriously when they go to like beaches and like stuff, wearing a swimsuit has always it feels bad to us because our bodies don't exactly look how we want them to look, and how would feel most comfortable to us. So it's like displaying off or showing off a body that they don't like is just very is very painful. So it's like Jax being the only person not in a swimsuit also feels very symbolically important. It's like, right. And so, that's very trans. And then it's like the only other trans character reaching out and like being like, you can talk to me, you can talk to someone about this. You got problems. I know what you are, right? Like, it's very like, if I do have problems, I talk to people. Hint, hint. Like, if I do have problems with my body image and my gender stuff, I talk to people. like camera turns, right? Like, and like, yeah, and then like Jax is immediately like masked on, like, good luck, I don't have any problems. Good thing I don't have any problems then. And it's like, yeah, sure, I fucking believe you. That's the face of a man with no problems. Like, yeah. If you have no problems, if you have no problems, I have negative infinity problems. Like, and then we have oh god, this scene is always just. This one is going to be jam-packed full of stuff. Okay, so we have the scene with Ribbit. I will play this whole thing out in its entire, like this whole thing out in its entirety. Okay, so many things I want to go over. We'll start with the reaching out to the the ribbit thing. Notice how his mask disappeared, or not like the mask, that like his body, like parts of his body disappears, like he's literally leaving his body behind as he reaches out towards the ribbit hallucination. That feel, yeah, like a lot of trans people could relate to like the idea of like, oh, I want to leave my body behind. That, yeah, it's a very common thing, right? And then we have the even, and the like hallucination scene, and it's like, oh yeah, it's very like in Jax's ideal vision of his own body. It's like he's like abstracting and finding peace. It's like, wow, in this version of him that's like a hallucination, he like, oh hey, would you look at that, all the parts that are inherent to like masculinity, not there, smooth as a baby's bottom. I wonder why that is. It's just, yeah, it feels very, and there's also, again, it's just a very colorful background, and it's like the peace of like the peace he seems to bring him, and it's just it's tragic, right? And then we have when he gets pulled out of the thing. It's like, I don't know if I'll show you the exact frame if I can right here. like those are the trans flag colors. That's the trans flag, transgender colors. Like it's like me when I have the transgender eyeballs, right? Like it's like again, Gooseworks is doing some obvious symbolism here that it could not get more obvious if she literally like broke into your house and beat you to death with a thing that says Jax is transgender. But you know, she'd probably have to for cis people to begin to understand, right? She could do that and cis people would still be denying it. They are just, ugh. But yeah, then we have the overall just the room. The room is just okay. To understand the rooms, we have to look at Kane as a person. Kane's whole thing is that he wants to help, but he doesn't understand how to help, right? And the rooms are so symbolic of that. Like he wants to, like it's like the torture that like Kane inflicts on people is accidental, right? He says so himself in episode 3, right? So it's like the idea, like so this let's look at the other rooms first. So it's like, oh, Pomni wanted more fun and enjoyment in her life. Okay, well her room is a little kid's room with lots of childish toys. That's fun. That's what you enjoy, right? Oh God. It's like, but that doesn't realize that it's also in torment because Pomni's least favorite thing is to be looked at like a child. Like in episode 2, it's like I'm 25 years old. It's like, oh, I'm not a child. You don't have to hype me up. Those things, those moments where it's just like, as Pomni hates being seen as a child or looked down on or like condescended to or like not taken seriously. And so she's a jester and she's given a room that's a child's room. Zubul has issues with their body, and so Kane put up a bunch of mirrors on the wall. And you might think like, wow, that's evil. But but if you think about it from Kane's perspective, oh, he put a whole bunch of mirrors on the wall so that Zubul can see what they're doing when they're putting on new body parts, right? Like, oh, this will be good. So it's like all of his like tortures, all of his torments he inflicts are like incidental. Like it's like he's trying to like do something. And since we know he can scan their mind files, I think like he scans what they want. He scans what they want, and then he tries to give them what they want, but he doesn't understand how to give them what they want because Kane is the opposite of Am. Am is condemned to understand emotions but never have them, and then meanwhile Kane is condemned to have emotions but never understand them, right? It's this tragic thing where it's like he's always trying to help. He's eternally like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy thing where he's eternally like trying to help, and yet every time he does, it only makes the situation worse, right? Or he's like trying to bring joy. He loves humans. He wants to bring joy to humans, and yet every time he does try to bring joy to them, it like ends up backfiring on him, right? And so if you tie it in with the other 2 rooms that we've seen, we haven't seen Gangel's room, and we haven't seen Ragatha's room, and we haven't seen Kanger's room. There's so many rooms we haven't seen, right? But as again, but like just with the 2 we have, I think it's plenty. It's like more than enough to like make this thing, to make this point. Jax's room is very obviously a little girl's room, and it has the exact colors of the transgender flag: red, white, not red, red, white, and blue. Yeah, the American gender. No, it's pink, blue, and white. Those are the trans flag colors: pink, white, blue, right in that order. And then there's also the lesbian colors in that room, but that's a stretch. But that's a stretch on my part. But it's like, yeah, you gotta, hey, let a funny bunny shipper stretch a little bit. But just like looking at the colors of the room, it's just like this little girl's room. It's like, I don't know if you talk to a lot of trans girls, but a lot of if you talk to them, a lot of them will, one of their biggest things they like talk about or like wish they had is like, they wish they had the girlhood. They wish they had that, like they could have been like born a girl and raised as a girl and like experienced the joys of girlhood. That's why so many of us are cringe online. And it's like, yeah, we never got to experience what it was like to like be a girl and grow up as a girl. And so it's just, it's like, that's why like childish hobbies, childish things. So it's like try to regain that sense of lost childhood, like a childhood you didn't get to have because you were too busy suffering. You're too busy suffering in a body you didn't want, and so this childhood was robbed from you, and so you try to reclaim it as you age. And so it's like, that's why girlhood is such a thing that like a lot of trans women crave. It's like, I wish I could have experienced that myself, but I didn't. So I try to reclaim it in other ways. But it's like, but with Jax's thing, it's very fascinating to me because the way he, like look at the room. It's so obviously a girl's room, and it's the colors of the trans flag, and it's like it's so. I feel like this. So if he's a closeted trans girl, this room makes so much sense, right? If like the thing is, it makes infinitely more sense if he's a closeted trans girl. Honestly, it's like every other version of this room. It just doesn't like. Every other explanation for why Jax is the way he is makes this room make no sense when put into context of how the other rooms have worked, right? But if he's a transgender, like a closeted trans femme, Kane could absolutely see like, oh, I see. Oh, you want to be a girl. Okay. You want to be a girl inside. Okay. Well, I'll give you the girliest. You want to be a girl and you want that lost sense of girlhood. Well, here's the girliest, like, girlhood room you could ever ask for. Meanwhile, closeted repressing trans girl Jax is just over there sitting in the corner just like, wow, this is a representation of everything I can't have. Great, I'm in hell, right? It's like, it's agony incarnate, and it's like also why he never lets it's like, and it also it turns his room into an interesting parallel of his heart, right? It's like, so it's like, let me cook on this. So it's like, Jax portrays himself as very mean and gruff, and it's like Jax is like keeps people away and never lets people in. He also never lets people into his room, and it's like I feel like if I was Jax, this room would feel like a threat, like, oh, never let people in lest they see the girl inside, lest they see the feminineness inside. So it's like if we take this thing as a representation of Jax's heart, the pictures of his friends up on the wall that he refuses to face, just like he refuses to face the grief in his heart for his friends, right? And then we have like, he never lets people into the room, just like he never lets people into his heart. And it's like, the moment he does try to face it, it's too much. He almost abstracts. Like, just like he faces it in the room, he turns it towards him to face it, just like he's facing the grief, right? It's very, like, this whole thing is so symbolically rich. And it's like, and so then Pomni knocks on the door, and, you know, whipped Jax is like, yes, dear, right? But just, the whole thing feels so symbolically, like, ugh. It makes me feel so bad for Jax, where it's just like, oh, this room is a representation of my internal feminine desires. It's a representation of everything he can't have, and it's a representation of everything he craves and wants, but can never have because it's just so painful, right? And then we have the moment where they're just like, there's just, so like, the room thing is just so, the room is a representation for Jax's like heart, or for Jax's like emotions, is, I feel like, a very good one. Like, it's a very good like metaphor for that, in my opinion. But okay. Then there's the date with Kane. This one is a little bit more of a stretch, but I feel like it's very, like, if you look at it, you can see the vibes.
So, Jax, what you want to talk about, friendo? Wait, Jax! I wanted to ask you about the adventures. What do you think I should do to make them more appealing to the Zooble and the Pomni?
I think
we should figure out what to order first. Conversation can happen after we've loaded up on digital nutrients, on cedar smoked salmon. I cedar smoked salmon, but I hardly know smoked salmon.
Do you have any secret hobbies?
Secret hobbies?
Yeah, like things you do on your own that you'd be interested in talking about.
Why, I didn't think a human would ever want to ask me about my... This is the most phantasmical moment of my...
Yeah.
What you doing there, Jax?
Have I ever told you how it's my dream to get eaten by you?
That's a weird thing to say and want. But like I was saying, this Macroverse place really intrigues me. And these photos are all I have of the location. I'm obsessed with them. I just wish I had more info on the location so I could accurately recreate it. Too bad they cut me off, right?
Yeah, what a shame.
So, what's your takeaway from all this?
What?
What's your takeaway from all this? Is it that I'm actually a cool guy with cool hobbies and not that much different from you beautiful humans?
Sure.
Wowee! I'm so glad we understand each other a little more. I really am trying my best to make you guys happy, and being appreciated for that just makes me want to... celebrate by giving you guys anything you ask for. How's that sound?
Sounds good. This was a nice dinner and everything, but could I go back to the circus? The gals and I were gonna do something which may or may not be a surprise for a special certain ringmaster we want to show our appreciation for.
Gasp! Say no more!
The thing that makes this feel transfem to me is the power and social dynamics of it, right? Like, of course, everyone's immediately like, "Oh my God, Jack's on a date with a cane." Yowie, which, fair. But the vibe of it is, it gave me, like, the way Jax asked about you, like, do you have any secret hobbies? And it's like, that's projection, okay? If they asked him to ask about his hobbies, you said secret hobbies. That feels like you're projecting something onto him. But there's also just the whole vibe just feels like woman on a date with a man who she is not interested in, but is being polite because she is scared of him. Like, that is the general vibe it gets. Like, or it's like a woman who is getting, like, who's on a date with her boss. Like, that's the vibe I get, like, from this. It feels very like the power dynamics feel very it has, like, the power dynamics have like a gendered feel to them almost. Like the way, the face Jax makes me like, oh, do you have any, like, secret hobbies? Like the way he's like clearly trying to placiate this powerful being. There's like this person who is, like, more powerful than them, and it's like, I don't know, that just felt very transfem to me.
You got someone waiting for you outside?
Don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that scene is just like it's such a small little, like, quick, like, blink and you'll miss it moment where it's just like you have, like, it's like oh, you've got someone waiting for you on the outside, and it's like, what, and you don't? And it's like God, the loaded question, I could just instantly tell, right? And the way Jack just responds with this yeah, and it's like it makes me feel like people on the outside did not treat Jax particularly well. I wonder why that could be the case. Oh, it's almost as though closeted trans women, or it's like trans women who come out. It's like, imagine how funny it would be if it's revealed Jax lived in Florida. It's like, oh yeah, that's why. Oh, that explains so much of why you are the way you are. Ugh, pain, right? So it's like, yeah. So that's my theory. That's just that little bit. And then now we have the Matrix stuff. There's, like, a lot of symbolism here. All right, so this part with when they're in the room, this is really interesting.
Push it! Hold on! Let's just wait a second and go over everything we know, and maybe we can vote on it or something?
It has flashbacks to a road, to a house, and it's like all this stuff, and like that. This really plays into my theory. My theory is that, like, Jax was sent off to a conversion camp, because he was, like, a trans. And his parents found out, sent him to a conversion camp. He escaped, and then into an abandoned building, and then got scanned and sent here. That's my theory. And that would explain why he doesn't want to go back, because he gets sent. He was like, I don't want to get sent back to the conversion camp, right? It tracks in my head, at least, right? But like the flashbacks and the genuine fear and panic in his eyes, and it's like, of course, you might say like, oh, that was like Kane manipulating him, and it's like that feels like something Jax made up to deflect from the truth, right? Like, and like the fact that nobody else yeah, it just feels The fact that even Kane seems surprised by that, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, that just feels very, very transgender, right? And then we have the red button and the blue button, which is symbolism time. Okay, so Matrix is obviously tied into this, very clearly, right? Like, they're in a simulation. Matrix is gonna come to mind, right? And I don't know if you're unaware of this, but the Matrix was made by two transgender women, and they've come out and explicitly stated that that the red pill, blue pill thing is a metaphor for transitioning. The blue pill represents accepting that you are the blue pill represents rejecting the truth and like going to like live a lie, right? Rejecting the truth that you can transition, and then and then just living with the lie of like you're comfortable with your gender, and then like the red pill represents like, oh, accepting that you can transition, like engage with the reality, do the brave thing, right? And it was also a play on because like back then, the pills used for transitioning were red and blue, right? But right, so taking the red pill is him like accepting the truth. But the thing that makes this really interesting to me is that like I feel like the positions of the buttons are reversed, or it's like the buttons and what they do are reversed. But it's like I feel like they still represent the same thing of like truth versus ignorance, in my opinion, because I don't think they can escape the circus. I think they're brain copies. They're scanned copies of the brains. It's the only theory that makes any kind of sense to me. Because even the time dilation theory is just like it doesn't really fit. But like it's like the brain scan theory makes a lot more sense. And so it's like, oh, embrace the reality that you can never escape. That's what the red pill is. Or it could be because Jax takes the red pill and it's like that's him like accepting the reality, but it's like that this doesn't feel like a very acceptance thing, right? It could also be that the meanings of the buttons have flipped in a way where it's like, oh, they can't actually escape the circus somehow, and Jax is refusing to go against it. And that would also make sense because the pills people that trans women use to transition nowadays are blue, right? So it's like taking the blue pill would be the like, if they were to remake the Matrix, the blue pill would be the one that takes you, would be the one representative of the estradiol. So it's fascinating to me. It makes my brain do numbers. So it's like thinking about it. It's just like this is a reference to the thing, and there's also like reference to like I saw the TV glow with like Jax's head in front of the screen. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, they're very obviously transgender parallels and symbolism involved, and it's just yeah. The fact that, but like overall, I think the fact that Jax is taking the red pill and like the red pill is symbolic for transitioning, as confirmed by the fucking people who made the Matrix, that just feels that cinches it for me, right? Like, cause like yeah, obviously Gooseworks would watch the thing she's inspired by, and she would like look into it, right? Like you have to like, I assume everything is intentional unless stated otherwise, right? Because it's like an animation is difficult and complicated and requires a lot of time, right? And then we get to the episode 8 stuff. The episode 8 stuff is just... Whew, okay, alright, where do I even begin? It's just... There's so much. Okay. Here we have episode 8, and there's... again, this is a lot of evidence in this one. Okay. The first thing I want to bring up is the Zubul and Jax interaction. Zubul's the one to reach out to them.
Hey. That includes you too.
Huh?
Listen, we're not gonna have you wandering off alone somewhere and abstracting or something. You're a pain in the ass, but you're still one of us.
You think I'm capable of abstracting? You guys worry too much.
It's like, Pomni also reaches out, but it's like, Zubul, trans character, clocked him in the previous episode, reaching out to him now. It feels important. Like, it's like, it's not Ragatha, it's not Kinger, it's not Gangle, it's Pomni and it's Zubul, okay? And it's like, Pomni's the main character, but it's like, why is Zubul reaching out? And it's like... What reason could Zubul have to reach out to Jax other than, well, they're a good person, but also just, gender mayhaps, perchance, right? But it's, And then we get into something that, very disturbing, but, it is what it is. But it helps tie into my theory of Jax being sent to a conversion camp. Here we go. Here's the clip.
I want a shock!
Yeah, that's Jax getting electrocuted in an electric chair. I don't know if you know about this, but they used to. I don't know if they still do. If they still do, then oh my god. But if they used to use, electroshock therapy at conversion camps to try to force people to be straight. It didn't work. All it did was make them unalive themselves. Because oh hey, would you look at that? Electrocuting people doesn't change fundamental aspects of their being. Who would have thought? It's evil. But it helps line up with my theory that, like, Jax got sent to a conversion camp, ran away, and it's like, this is, like, Cain being the worst. And, like, playing on that. Alright? And then we have, also the portal is the transgender colors for some reason. I don't know why that is, but you know. Then we have the Kinger stuff. The King.
Oh my god. This is real.
Talk. The way Jax leaves and he's like having this thing, he's like, oh my god, this is all real. I think that's pretty obviously his coping mechanism has been like, oh, this is a cartoon, none of this matters. Like, even if he intellectually knew that these were real people, I think he didn't internalize. Like, it's like that thing of like knowing versus knowing. Like, you can know know the truth without knowing the truth, you know? All right, and then we get to the biggins, the one that's like, we're just going over all their fears, and Jax's is this one. Okay. This exceptionally transgender. He instinctively, it's like, look, like peeling back your false facade of masculinity. Like, they grab him by the ears, right? This facade of masculinity. They grab it and they pull on it, and they reveal the truth beneath it. And Jax's instinctive response is to cover his chest and his crotch. So it's obviously like, this is the exact pose that like someone would make if they were like, if it was like a woman being like stripped or assaulted, right? It's like, or it's also is like reminiscent of the Birth of Venus. If you've seen it, if you've seen that painting, putting it up here, the Birth of Venus. Oh, am I allowed to put that up? I don't know. I'll censor it probably. But it's like she covers her chest and whatnot. But then there's it's just, there's so much about it. And the fact that he looks like a yolk, it's like an egg yolk. It's just, there's a lot there. And it's very interesting to me at the very, it's just this connection between femininity and why are you instinctively covering your chest, Jax? If you are a man, it just doesn't seem to fit. And it's like people pulling, like the fact that his ears are the things that's grabbed and pulled away off of him. And it's like, oh, those things you said were representative of your masculinity, we can pull them off with ease. It's not actually a part of you. It's not actually intrinsic to who you are. It's just a thing you wear, right? Masculinity isn't a thing you are, it's a thing you wear. It's like, very, very, very transgender, all right? And so that's all the evidence in the show. Like, again, I think it's all the evidence. I might be glossing over some stuff. I've probably missed some things because, you know, I haven't gone over every inch of this stuff frame by frame. But it's like, but like, that's all the evidence contained within the show itself. From here on out, I'm going to be going over I'm going to go over advertisements, and then I'm going to go over Gooseworks tweets, and then I'm going to go over Gooseworks asks and whatnot. And then finally, we're going to wrap it all up. I'm going to make my argument, and then I'm going to preempt counter arguments, because I always see the same 2 or 3 counter arguments, and it's just so insufferable to be like, can't you guys read where I countered all your other arguments in the comments? And it's like, ugh. It's just, so I'm going to preempt them so I can, okay. In this unlisted Amazing Digital Circus extra, there's a moment around about 1:40. It's called "Presenting My Finest Work, Pomni," in all caps with 3 exclamation points. You can't find it if you search, but if you look in the Amazing Digital Circus extras thing on Glitch's channel, you'll find it. but it says from 144 to 152, Jax's monologue is like, "Oh no, but she's right though." Like, I'll show it here.
Aw, Jaxie boy looks so cute!
Go to hell.
Oh no! She's right, though!
The obvious reasons, it's very obvious why that's, yeah. There's also from the video entitled Save Her, which is from 130 to 133 in the video Save Her, also on that extras thing. It shows a shirt for sale that just says "You Go Girl" with Jax's face on it, which is like...
We have branded clothes, one with a disembodied Jax head, and...
Again, another hint. And then there's another one, The Amazing Digital Circus, but small, from 58 to 102.
I get to tell them that
I never got to tell them and then he freezes, and it's like, never got to tell them I'm trans, maybe? I don't know. It's like, again, these are minor things, but it's like, yeah. This one is really interesting. It's like, watch me merge them. Both, like, the first one, which is like the Jax in the Pomni suit, the whole bit of it is Jax, like, having a dream that he's having a dream that he's Pomni, and it's like, dreaming that you're a woman is like one of the number one signs that you might be trans, to start with, right? And then there's the other Pomni suit. It's like a Pomni wearing like a Jax mask.
I hope you get art block. Your dress is ugly and I like Jax more than you. You should get a girlfriend. Take care of your wrist. Sorry for hitting you. I appreciate your compassion for me. Wait, what am I saying? I'd never say that.
I'm not Pomni! Huh?
Pomni!
Hey, sup, losers?
A creation gone wrong or horribly right? The rare combination of stoner and fool, an absolute complete menace to themselves.
Who the is this guy?
Oh god!
Come on. I just want to, like, not hurt you or anything. Now I don't see a name on it, so it's mine.
It's like, oh, a girl wearing a mask of Jax, like a mask of masculinity, the ears and the tail. Hint, maybe. I don't know. That's not like conclusive. It's not the like silver bullet, but I feel like it is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And then there's a one that's titled "He's Not Okay." Oh, wait, no, that's a different one. Watch Me Merge Them is a different one. "He's Not Okay" is the one where there's the dreaming. "He's Not Okay" is for the Jax dreaming he's Pomni, and then "Watch Me Merge Them" is the one for, it's like the girl inside Jax. It's, you know. There's another one that is called ... which is Jax put in a girly maid outfit and he does a dance, and it's... Yeah, very cisgender behavior. We get it. And it's like another short titled "Never Ask Jax What His Secret Hobbies Are." Just shows clips from the Kane date. But the new title confirms my theory that the secret hobbies part was a projection on his part. Another short entitled "Never Clean Alone with Jax," and it's Jax in a maid outfit yet again.
You tired of cleaning alone? Say hello to the Maid Jax Plush, the only cleaning buddy with a detachable moral compass.
If you're happy to see me like this, congrats. You're the problem.
Smudges, streaks, mysterious sticky stuff? Maid Jax is here to wipe away the evidence. Boom! Clean as a clean thing.
Yeah, just use my eye socket for that stubborn spot.
He's soft, he's absorbent, and surprisingly submissive. From
Ow.
floors to walls to doors
Ow.
to balls,
Ow.
he does it all when duty calls.
Dignity. I remember when I used to have that.
And when he's filthy with your filth, just toss him in the spin cycle and he'll be ready to soak all over again. The Maid Jax Plush. Because why clean alone when you can not do that?
Microwave me on high.
Again, not cisgender activities we're talking about here, right? And then there's more recent stuff, which is the more recent stuff, which includes the more recent stuff, which is like the glitch is headed to the Level Up Con 2026, which shows Jax cosplaying as a woman.
Who are these eyesore characters we're dressed up as?
I don't know, I think it's from Star Wars or something, but come on! These costumes are fun, don't you think?
Dressing up as other people is weird. I think it's weird that you made me do this. And I know you'd feel weird if someone dressed up as... Frankie, it's the guys from Star Wars.
That's right! Glitch is attending Level Up Expo on April 24th through 26th with their biggest booth yet!
And I'll be there as a special guest doing signings and stuff. Oh, and these sad sacks will be doing all that too.
Rude.
Also, the Knights of Guinevere cast will also be there doing signings and special guesting. Also, if you fancy meeting the voice actors, there will be a Digital Circus and Knights of Guinevere panel with special guest Dana Terrace that you won't want to miss.
Also, make sure to get your grubby mitts on our new exclusive con poster, only available at the Glitch booth. Trust me, it's awesome. I can see past the silhouette. Visit levelupexpo.com and get your tickets now.
See you there!
Again, it's cisgender man dresses. No cisgender man dresses up like a woman that often, right? It's like it feels like it's hinting at something. And then there's the like just like old times, huh, honey? That thing, that feels interesting. It's like it shows Jax pre like infinite tragedy and trauma, being like just happy hanging out with the other guys, right? But what I most want to focus on is just this one. Welcome to the Average Physical Circus. It's a short on their
The
thing.
next freak. Of last, we have the most terrifying freak of all. The freakiest, most horrible, abomination, purple-looking creature we have.
Wait, I just looked normal. Did I miss something?
Your tail's missing, freak.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad.
Jax comes in and he's like, and they're like, oh, look at this freak. And they're like, oh, you don't have your tail. And he's like, oh, well, that's not so bad. And he says it in like a light, playful tone of, like a light, happy tone of voice. And it's like, oh, the thing that was previously stated to be a representation of your masculinity, you're fine without it? Oh, I wonder why that might be. It's almost like the show is building up to you accepting more and more of yourself and people around you being more understanding and empathetic. And it's almost like you're, I know what you are. But so it's like, and then it's also, again, they remove the skin. It's like, oh, that's not so bad. And then they yoink his skin, like the harrowing to visualize. But yeah, it's very, it's very horrific. But, and then we have Freak Jax. The whole Freak Jax thing. There's a, I'll show it up here. There's merch. There's like this doll of Jax, and it's just the peeled Jax or skinned Jax, however you want to refer to him as. And he's called a freak in all the merch. He's like, oh, you look like a freak. Bubble says it. And then there's it's like in the marketing they refer to it as Freak Jax. And of course you might be thinking like, hey, why would Gooseworks refer to a trans woman as like a freak? Isn't that like super messed up? And it's like, first of all, Gooseworks is a trans woman, and second of all, like, second of all, like, this is her self-insert. She can do whatever she wants to it. And third of all, like, this, I feel like this is commentary. This is commentary on how, like, media and advertisers and, like, everybody treats trans women. How, like, the public treats trans women. They call us freaks, and then they try to profit off of us. It's just horrible. But, like, it's just, like, it's a commentary on that, right? And it's like, it's like so many trans women, their deepest fear is that, like, once, if they come out, they'll be called a freak, right? It feels very, like, intentional, right? And it's also meant to be like, look at all the people being like, oh, look at how ugly Jax is. I feel like it's like kind of setting it up for like, oh, everyone point and laugh and make fun of Jax, and then she reveals Jax is trans in the final episode, and she's like fucking flips it around on you, and it's just like, yeah, that's what you did. This is who you were making fun with? No, stand on business. Those are from the shorts, right? Like all those bits and pieces, like from the show and from the shorts, that I feel like is part of the like evidence, right? But everything past this is like like tangentially related to the show, like tweets from the creator and asks answered on Twitter, and like drawings and whatnot. Like that is like that is this everything beyond this point like is not in show evidence. I wouldn't consider it. I would consider it just like it's like how to explain? It's like circumstantial evidence, right? Like this. But I feel like this evidence is like where stuff really starts to get damning for the theory, right? It's like some of the stuff is straight up indefensible if you look at it, if you like try to Occam's razor it. Okay? Starting with Gooseworks tweets. To begin with, here's this one. Jax cross-dressing as a witch in a Halloween costume. Again, cross-dressing for the billionth time, and then it's like Gooseworks responding to a thing where he's like, wow, to a drawing of Jax cross-dressing. Then there's this tweet which shows Jax in a maid outfit in concept art, and it's like. And then there's this one, Gooseworks drawing Jax insisting he's the pinnacle of masculinity, which like repressing like there's a reason why repressing trans girls like a lot of us have a tendency to overemphasize our masculinity because we know we lack it. And it's like there's some internal knowledge, and so we tend to be like, oh no, I'm totally masculine, I swear. Please do not look behind the curtain, like that kind of thing, right? And so then there's this her saying she created Jax specifically to appeal to her. I want to like, yeah, that combined with this next statement, which is it's like Gooseworks explicitly stating that Jax is her self-insert. Now that feels so like trans woman made the show says. This is my self-insert character. That's, like, as far as I'm concerned, that's what, like, and then that character then struggles with, like, identity and masculinity, and it's like, as far as I'm concerned, once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, so he's just transgender. Yeah, I got it. Instantly, like, no even point trying to defend it, right? It's just that what it is. And then there's another tweet she made. She was like, the show must boy mode, which is like a joke, but it's like boy moding. And it's like, if she knows what boy moding is, she knows what egg is. For sure. So I feel like that establishes, like, she knows terminally online transgender terminology. Right? Like, that's just, she just does. Okay? And so then there's, this is Jax listening to Creep by Radiohead. She drew that. It's like, I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. And it's like, like I know that's like a very like everybody likes that song, but it's like again that feels specifically that part of it. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. Transgender, very gender, right? And then oh my god, this piece of evidence is the one that's just. It is the most indefensible. It's like you can't argue against it in any way. That's not just like every time I've heard someone argue against it, it's just like it feels like if you were in like a courtroom and then there's like, and here's a videotape of your client shooting the victim point blank in the face on 4K HD TV, and then the lawyer always just over here like, well, how don't you know it wasn't his identical twin? Like this is what I mean. She drew Jax holding a bottle of progesterone and saying, I heard it makes you better at gambling. Like that's just the most. That's the kind of shit that like a trans girl who was just caught red-handed, like a closeted trans girl just caught red-handed about to take some progesterone. Like, I heard it makes you better at gambling. That's why I'm taking it. I promise. I swear. Like some, like yeah. So that is completely and totally, completely like, as far as I'm concerned, that cinches it. Right, for me at least, and then we get to the Tumblr. Let's get to Tumblr. Here it is. Someone asks Gooseworks what Jax likes and that nobody knows about, and she says he won't let me tell you, which is fascinating. When asked why is Jax like that, Gooseworks says a big cocktail of internal issues, which, transgender. Being transgender is to have a big cocktail of internal issues, like the most internal your issues can get. Right? This is her saying again, Jax is the one she relates to the most, right? Yeah. like that combined with he's her self-insert, he's the one he relates to, very, very clear. And it's like, what if, like, somebody asked, like, if Jax would wear a maid outfit, it's like, depends on who you ask. And it's like, oh, that's not a no. And it's like, what Jax does in his free time, you don't want to know. And it's like, clues, very interesting. And it's like, it's just, it's all hinting at something. And then there's Goose. This is another thing. Gooseworks saying there's all kinds of symbolism in the story. This is the one is especially, this one's important. Gooseworks saying that she would become Jax if transported to the amazing digital circus. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that feels like Jax being trans. Yeah, that feels very accurate. Okay. Gooseworks stating that Jax has unresolved issues relating to women. Gooseworks saying that Gooseworks in the drawing Jax in the maid outfit again for the billionth time in the day. And then there's the this one. Hey, what do you think of Jax becoming a Tumblr sexy man? And she's like, I think that's really funny considering what happens later in the series. Now, what could that possibly mean? Like, if you think about it and, like, how it could be, like, funny, it's like, oh, it's because Jax is a bad person? Half the Tumblr sexy men are bad people. Look at Alistair or Vox or any of them, right? All of them are terrible people, right? Like, being a terrible person is not, like, does not disqualify you from being Tumblr sexy man. I'm pretty sure some of those guys are cannibals, all right? And so it's like, okay, well, why else? It's like, okay, what other explanation could there be that would make Jax being a Tumblr sexy man funny? If Jax transitioned and was a girl, then Jax being a Tumblr, like, Jax is a Tumblr sexy man. Oh, girl. Like, that would be hilarious. That would be, like, it's very ironic. It's the only explanation I can think of for why it would be funny. Because every other explanation just doesn't really make any sense, right? And then also this one here, her saying Jax likes things he would never admit, right? Overall, very, very damning. We also see Gooseworks like several tweets of Transfem Jax and Transfem Jax related stuff, as well as like tweets and Tumblr posts, just stuff like that. And it's like also she liked this post defending the idea of Transfem Jax, just overwhelming. Again, just throwing more bodies on the pile here at this point. Also, yet again, this is like the third time I've had to come back to record another thing because Gooseworks keeps, like, I keep finding more and more, like, I find the bottom of the bottomless well, and yet there's more to it. She had this tweet, or blue, what do you call the blue sky thing? I assume, I'm just going to call it a tweet, where it says, what was it? It was, he wasn't ready to ask these questions about himself in response to somebody being like, oh, he looks super good in the maid outfit. And it's like, what questions could he be asking that aren't gender-related ones? Like, oh my god, at this point, not Transfem Jax is like the thing that needs defending. You need to, like, come to me with a reason why he isn't trans based on all this evidence. Like, Jesus. An hour and a half. Like, I think it's like 2 hours now. I don't know. I'll look back when I edit it. Like, Jesus. And then there's two more tweets that I don't know, I'm a little bit, I am worried about including just, I don't want to look insensitive here, but I feel like in order to, like, paint the full picture of the accuracy of, in order to best present my argument, I believe that it is important for me to go over these. And again, this is another reason why I believe that the conversion camp theory. Gooseworks made a post saying Jax should get sent to conversion therapy, right? And so it's like but that tweet was deleted later after she said it was bringing up uncomfortable memories. And then you combine that with a different deleted tweet where she says that she was sent to conversion camp, and, you know, Jax is the one she relates to the most, and it's just, it all feels like it ties into that. Yeah. Anyway, that's my argument. So that's my argument for why I believe that Jax is trans. And my current theory for that is that, as I've said, he was sent to conversion therapy, or he was going to be sent to conversion therapy. He ran away and he ended up in the circus. And that's why he didn't want to leave the circus. That's why he hit the red button. Oh, God, long. It's so overwhelming, the evidence, right? It's like, I don't understand how anyone can, like, see all the bits and pieces and still deny it. It just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so now, combating counter-arguments. This is just, this is the one that annoys me a lot. Well, first of all, any theory that involves Jax hitting someone with a car, do me a favor and, like, Google basic human logic and reasoning and analysis, and it's like, where? Based on what? Based on nothing. It's like all the theories are the most reachy, out of nowhere things. They're like, oh yeah, Jack is on the run from the law after he hit a kid with his car, and I'm like, is that really more likely to you than him just being closeted transgender? Really? Genuinely, is that more reasonable in your worldview? Oh my God. Right? It's meh. But then, the common counter arguments I've heard is like, what if Jax is trans mask? Gooseworks, oh, this is my self-insert. This is my character who's me. He's literally me for real. Why? He's me. He is me. I would become him if I got sent to the circus. He is literally me. Yeah, that character's trans mask. No. Just no. No. I could see a trans mask reading for nearly every other character. Like, I could see one for Pomni, I could see one for Ragatha, I could see one for Gangle. There's already one, like, latent within Zubul. I could see one even for Kinger, because, you know, the based elder queers. But, like, what? Not for Jax. Like, the most, like, it just makes Zubul look like a terrible person. Look at this thing. Yeah. Like, look, this Gooseworks herself saying that, like, oh, Zubul wouldn't do something that messed up. It's like, yeah, it would make Zubul look like a terrible person forcing a trans man into a dress and then to mock him and then being like, I thought you'd be into this. Like, it's just, like, from a Transfem perspective where it's like, they think that Jax is, they think Jax is a closeted trans girl and they're trying to, like, crack the egg. Still bad, but, like, you know what? Better than the alternative of, like, yeah, let's give this trans man dysphoria just because I'm evil, like, just because I'm a supervillain. It's just no. And then there's the argument's like, we already have a trans character in Zubul, and it's like, okay, well, there are different aspects of dysphoria. Like, I'd argue that Zubul represents the physical aspects of dysphoria very accurately, but Jax, I feel like, would represent the social and, like, the personal and, like, the like, social dysphoria the most, right? Being perceived as a man, having to act as a man, right? Like, there are different aspects of transness, and it's like, and also the whole idea of, like, oh, we only can have a certain amount of queer characters, and it's like, there's not a rainbow budget. Like, there's not like if you go over this many queers, the government's gonna hunt you down. I mean, Trump hasn't implemented that law yet, but it's like, it's just, and also, Glitch Studios, she said so herself, it gives her infinite, unlimited freedom and creative whatever, right? So it's just like, yeah, no, I don't buy that for one singular instant, you know? And then there's there's not enough time to explore Jax being trans in the last episode, and it's like, the last episode's an hour long, that's been confirmed, and then, like, in the previous episode, they killed Cain. They, like, made Cain turn evil and then killed him. And they did that in half the time they're going to have. I think they have more than enough time to just have want that, like, they don't need to do a full hour showing Jax going to the doctor's office and getting a prescription for HRT. All it would require is one, like, short, like, 5-minute scene at most, where Jax is, like, sitting with Pomni or Zubul or Kinger and being like, I don't want to be a man, and, like, I think I might be a girl. Like, that quick, over and done with. Like, it's not hard. It's like, it's the way people talk about it, you'd think that having a character be trans is something you'd have to, like, have, like, 30 hours of build-up beforehand before it makes any kind of sense. And it's like, no, there has been build-up. It wouldn't come out of nowhere. There's been, like, a bazillion clues. It's just that cis people are all, like, their brains are made of soup. And their brains are made of, like, not, but... Like, their brains are made of not, but, like, lint and moths. Like, it's like, It's like, the entire, like, sense of self is held together by, like, silly string. Right? It's so infuriating talking with a person who you can tell has never introspected once in their life. But it's just, they have no ability to perceive trans things because they cannot conceive of worlds outside themselves. And it's just, cis people are not ensouled. No, that's too far. That's a joke. That's a joke. I do believe cis people have souls. I've dated some of them. Right? Dated one of them. Not exactly swimming in, yeah. But, yeah, so, and then there's the thing where it's like, oh, but he brags about his masculinity constantly, and it's like, overcompensation is a very common thing with closeted trans girl. Why do you think so many of us join the military? Like, ugh. And then they're just like, oh, but he's just a guy with toxic masculinity. And it's like, repressed self-loathing closeted trans girls have more toxic masculinity than, like, 1,000 red pill podcasters could have in a billion years. Like, it's like that whole thing where it's like, oh, like sharpen a beak, like the thing where it's like, oh, circle the earth, take a drop of water out of the ocean, have and then every time the ocean is, like, emptied, have a bird sharpen its beak on the top of a mountain made of diamonds, and put a stack of paper on the ground, and it's like, start over again, and then do that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, once the mountain is ground to dust, the first second of eternity will have passed, and it's like, once that mountain is ground to dust, you will understand 1% of the toxic masculinity and self-loathing contained within, like, the average fucking trans girl, especially one if they grew up in a conservative area. Like, oh my god. I take this from someone who grew up in a red state. That stuff is, like, so virulent that, like, if Andrew Tate was exposed to actual actual, true, poisonous toxic masculinity, it would be like Ark of the Covenant. He would just melt. He would he'd be dead. But yeah. So that's, like, those are the counter-arguments. I might make a follow-up video if I see there are other counter-arguments in the comments. But overall, yeah. Jax is the most obviously trans-coded character in the history of anything ever. I've seen characters that are explicitly trans that are not as trans-coded as Jax is. Like, I've heard the characters that are explicitly, like take, what was it, Perfuma from, like, She-Ra. That character is not as transfem as Jax is. And also the fact that the final episode is coming out during Pride Month on Freedom Day. Like, come on. Like, yeah, I know what you are. Right? Like, if it's revealed in the final episode, first of all, I'm going to be the smuggest person in the universe. I'm going to be the most insufferable bastard. Alright? And then, approximately after that, I'm going to be celebrating to the likes of which the world has never seen. Right? I'm going to be, like, shouting from the rooftops. It's going to mean so much to so much of the trans community to have a character that actually, like, represents so many trans characters, they are revealed as trans, as in, like, either just a side comment, or their transness has nothing to do with their character arc, or nothing to do with who they are as a person. It's never a part of them. It's just, like, a fact. Or it's like, oh, I transitioned a bazillion years ago, and I'm fully over it, and it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, we never have any characters that deal with the before and the after, right? It's just, or the during. It's like the before and the during is what I want to see. I want to see a character have that realization on screen, right? Instead of just like, oh yeah, that girl who's just a girl and her being trans has nothing to do with anything she does ever. Yeah, That's just, yeah, she's trans. I know it doesn't, I know you couldn't, like, I know you wouldn't know if I didn't tell you, but, yeah. I know it has nothing to do with her arc at all, and it's just like a thing we threw in for brownie points, but she's trans, and it's like, no, I want a character whose transness actually impacts the plot and the arcs in the story, and is, like, integral to their motivation in the arc, and it's like, because it's a very fundamental aspect of a person, right? Like, yeah, just having all this stuff where it's just surface level representation, or implied representation, or it's like maybe representation if you look at it from a certain angle, and it's like, no, I want true, genuine, real, like, put some grit into it. Right? Okay, so this video might suck because it's my first time ever making a video with my own voice, because, you know, I hate it, because, you know, it is it is what it is. But, yeah, so this is all the evidence I've cataloged. If you hear this and you're still like, man, I can't see it, look, just wait for the episode to come out. Just wait for the episode to come out. And then when I'm right, I'm gonna suplex you into the seventh circle, like, ugh. Yeah, anyway, I don't have an outro. Bye!